start fucking laughing and shit.
I'm a what now? Delete. You say I'm a what now?
What, don't delete.
Say it. Go ahead and say it now. Now you're on video. Say it.
Yo, man,
now you don't want to say it. You don't want to call me a nigga now. He don't want to call me a nigga now. You said listen to the what? He said listen to the Porsche monkey and go. Yeah. I experienced that in a suburb right outside of Dallas. It's a huge debate right now whether or not black people should be joining in to help the Latin community to fend off everything that they've been experiencing by the hands of the government right now. All the ICE raids, the meeting them at their court hearings, schools, so forth and so on, zip tying children. And a lot of black people feel like y'all are racist, so we gonna stay out of it, it is true. I've experienced it since moving to Dallas, that the Hispanic and the Latin community, a large portion of them do not like black people.
Hey family, you see this comment by this Latino gentleman saying that they come in for them and next to coming for the African Americans? See, that's the heart of what a lot of these Latinos feel. That shows right there that they don't even care about us. Because why would you want someone else to go through what you're going through? But here's the gag. They're not ever going to do this to us again. Regardless of their motive for bringing our ancestors here, we were brought here. They wanted us here, regardless if it was for a selfish, ungodly reason. And then we built this very nation that they have benefited from. And here's the real gag, sir. We built the nation that you and your people now benefit from.
What's up, YouTube family? Welcome back to my space. This is Ivan Strayola. Guys, thank you so much for tuning to watch today's episode. I do not take your support for granted. So far, on today's video, we want to talk about the tension between the Latina and black communities in America. We've been seeing over the recent months a lot of arguments online between the black people and the Latinas. Some Latinas claiming that black folks, do not deserve to get reparations. We've also seen some Latinas claiming that black folks should also, face deportations just like themselves, and black people have gone out to tell them that they are now enjoying the fruits, of their voting. More than 59% of Latinas actually voted in Donald Trump to be the next president of the United States of America, and right now they are facing mass deportations. The other day they're also claiming that black folks are not coming out in large numbers to support them in the anti-ICE demonstrations, and this has brought more and more drifts between the black and the Latina community in America. I have compiled a series of videos of Latinas and black speaking about their drift, speaking about why these communities cannot be united right now. So family, I want you to dive in and watch these videos of Latinas and black Americans explaining why there is a division amongst them. Once the series of videos are done, we will get back and do a critical analysis about the same. Guys, note that these videos, I have taken them from TikTok and I just compiled them, to do a commentary. I do not own rights to the videos. So guys, let's watch these videos together.
Us as Latinos, I've noticed that we're willing to accept white people in our family, but not black people. Most of the time we prefer white people over black people, really any other nation more than a black person. What I mean is, a mother's daughter has a white boyfriend, they would happily welcome him more than if she had a black boyfriend. Most of the time there's a stereotype within the Hispanic household about black people, right? That they're criminals, they're gang members, they're violent, they're someone you should fear. When really, we should look at white people that way, because white people are the ones who actually are harming us right now. Yes, they're Hispanics who are in those ICE trucks, ICE vans, but they have been put in place by the oppressor. The same people who descend from the people who took your land, put your forefathers in slave ships, stole your identity, gave you the terms Latino, Hispanic. The people who descend from those people, they're oppressing you today. And their forefathers oppressed your forefathers back in the day. So what is my point? We need to deny any nation but our own. As Black, Latinos, and Natives, we are the same people. We should unite, we should come together, and we should marry one another. If your daughter wants to get with a so-called African American, of course, you want to make sure that he's a good fit. You should allow that. If your son wants to get with an African American sister, make sure she is fit and allow that. And same thing for so-called Black people. Same thing for your daughters and your sons who want to get with natives or so-called Hispanic. You should allow that, because that's going to make us unite. That's going to make us stronger. And people might say, well, Black people hate Hispanics. Hispanics hate Black people. Listen, the reason why we are hurting each other is because we're oppressed by the same person who's causing stress, who's causing chaos, who's causing poverty in our lives. And when we are going through stress and anger, we get violent. And who are we going to get violent with? The people who live among us. We live amongst each other. You understand? But the people who we should really be upset with, and who we should point the finger at, is our oppressor. And we should never point the finger at each other. We should come together, resolve our problems, get over grudges, get over division amongst each other, and really come together as a community. Get off of drugs. Go against drugs. Go against drug dealers. Go against our daughters being whores and prostitutes and sleeping around. And really lock in and build as a community where men can be men, women can be women, and we'll rise to the top. And that's what the Most High, our God, wants for us. He wants us to get right, to fix ourselves, to cleanse ourselves. This is from the ISUPK and the Commander General Hana. This is what we teach. This is what we promote, because this is what the Bible teaches. You understand? If you want to learn more, go to isupk.com. Find a school near you. Shalom.
A message to the Latino community.
It's funny that y'all Latinos are choosing to be combative with Black Americans because y'all getting shipped the fuck up out of here. And at first we were like, okay, we ride with you, but not physically. We're not riding with y'all physically. But showing up to a Juneteenth celebration is ultimate disrespect. Showing up to what we celebrate. Y'all ain't fight. Y'all did not fight to be in this country. Now, we do know there is a history of the Mexicans allowing said slaves to come over. And then you guys teamed up. But make no mistake, you all have aligned yourselves so fucking hard with the Trump supporters that you think that you can deflect on us. Check this out. I'm glad that I wasn't at the Juneteenth where y'all showed up, because I would have been snatching y'all motherfucking signs down. Yeah, snatching y'all shit down. Because guess what? Y'all got blessed with businesses that we couldn't get blessed with. Y'all go and hate on us to HR. Y'all on the contract sites, on the sites deep reporting us. So now it's your motherfucking turn. Deal with it. Stop coming for us, because this smoke y'all do not want. I don't give a fuck how many of y'all get on here talking about, oh, this, that, and the third. We don't give a fuck at this point. You showing up to our celebrations. You have never taken the time to understand what the plight of the black person is. But guess what? Your lifestyle is funded by us. We fund everybody's motherfucking life. From the Asians to the Hispanics to the Middle Easterns. Y'all come in our hoods, y'all set up, y'all act funny, and then you think that you should have the entitlement not to get your ass kicked out of this country because you're not here on the right circumstance. Hey, we can't help that we was incorporated into the Constitution. We cannot help that they cannot seem to get it right when it comes to us. But make no mistakes. Y'all not the only ones getting deported. Y'all not the only one getting ISIS raids. But guess what? We kicking back. We drinking our water. We minding our business. Don't show up to our motherfucking events because it's going to be a problem. I'm so happy that I was not there because I would have been tearing y'all motherfucking signs.
Hey family, you see this comment by this Latino gentleman saying that they come in for them and next to coming for the African Americans. See, that's the heart of what a lot of these Latinos feel. That shows right there that they don't even care about us. Because why would you want someone else to go through what you're going through? But here's the gag. They're not ever going to do this to us again. Regardless of their motive for bringing our ancestors here, we were brought here. They wanted us here, regardless if it was for a selfish, ungodly reason. And then we built this very nation that they have benefited from. And here's the real gag, sir. We built the nation that you and your people now benefit from. So what will not and ever happen is them deporting us. Because first, you got to know where you took us from and our ancestors from. Second of all, just like the natives, we have a right to be here. You understand? So my advice to you, focus on you and yours. Don't worry about the African American, the black community, because I'm telling you, at the end of the day, we will stick together. And by any means necessary, if something jumps off and someone feels froggy and want to leap, trust and believe we are ready for it. But again, we sitting this one out. This is your fight. Now stop minding black people's business.
Why does a person that never was a slave deserve compensation from a person that never owned a slave?
Bank of America and much of the U.S. financial system were built on the profits from slavery, using enslaved people as loan collateral and even owning them when debts weren't paid. These same institutions, which grew into billion-dollar corporations from the slavery of our ancestors, continue to uphold systems of institutional racism that today prevent black people from building generational wealth. The horrors of slavery didn't end with emancipation. They left deep scars that still shape the lives of black people today. This inherited trauma, known as post-traumatic slave syndrome, is rooted in generations of violence, ripped apart families, and stolen identity. It continues to affect mental health, family relationships, and the overall well-being of black people. The U.S. government has paid reparations to Japanese Americans interned during World War II and even Americans held hostage in Iran. Yet the only people paid for slavery were the slave owners for losing their slaves after the Civil War. The victims of slavery were never paid. Our ancestors were stolen and endured some of the most violent atrocities in human history. So white people in this country could build their largely unearned generational wealth that they still sit on today, while black people have been systemically denied the right to build and pass down the wealth we fought hard to earn for generations. Because every single time we did build, for example, Black Wall Street in Tulsa, the whites burned down the entire town and slaughtered every single black person that they could find. You stole our ancestors. You stole their labor, which made the U.S. an economic superpower. You stole their futures. You dehumanized, brutalized, and traumatized them. Then that generational trauma was passed down to their descendants, who you continue to traumatize and brutalize with your systems of oppression put into place to limit and prevent us from creating generational wealth. And you refuse to dismantle your systems of oppression because that would be admitting that white prosperity was built on black suffering. But you still owe for the centuries of unspeakable atrocities, because reparations are not charity. It's an unpaid debt that you owe.
Fucking math laughing and shit.
I'm a what now? You say I'm a what now?
What, don't delete. Don't
Say
delete.
it. Go ahead and say it now. Now you're on video. Say it.
Yo, man, you need
Now you don't want to say it. You don't want to call me a nigga now. He don't want to call me a nigga now. You said listen to the what?
Dude back there.
He said listen to the Porsche monkey and go. Yeah.
I experienced that in a suburb right outside of Dallas. It's a huge debate right now on whether or not black people should be joining in to help the Latin community to fend off everything that they've been experiencing by the hands of the government right now. All the ICE raids, the meeting them at their court hearings, schools, so forth and so on, zip tying children. And a lot of black people feel like y'all are racist, so we gonna stay out of it, which it is true. I've experienced it since moving to Dallas, that the Hispanic and the Latin community, a large portion of them do not like black people. There's no lie about that. That is something that you guys have to tackle and deal with. My wife is biracial, she's half Mexican. And even when we go to predominantly Mexican places, if looks could kill, she'd be dead. The disgust, the disdain, the little comments they make, they can't stand seeing her with a black dude. They think she's less than because she is with a black dude. So it is some issues that we need to tackle. 100% proximity to YT does not make you YT. And I wish the Latin community would understand that. For my people, for us, after they are done with them, Old Reliable is still there as the boogeyman. We have always been the boogeyman. Crime has been our fault. Unemployment has been our fault. Welfare, this, that, and the third. The Old Reliable boogeyman will be there when they're done with them. So we could help get rid of the problem now, or wait until the problem is at our door, even though it never really left our door.
Latinos are inherently racist. I can't believe I'm having this conversation again, but I just seen a video of a Cuban girl who is, might I add, white passing as all hell. And yes, I said Cuban, so it's pretty self-explanatory as to why she thinks the way she does, because Cubans are one of the worst. And this is coming from a Latina, so I'm gonna yap and talk my shit, okay? The fact that she thought it was cool to literally broadcast that she says the N-word and she doesn't see the issue with it and that you guys are just crybabies is absolutely insane. Girl, you literally will never understand, because the color of your skin lets you into places and spaces that make you feel comfortable. You literally have found proximity to white people, and in that proximity, you became weird. But need I remind people yet again, proximity does not equal whiteness. At the end of every single day, you are still a Latina, even if it doesn't really show. And at the end of every day, they think they should deport you. But you feel like because you came here legally, like, let's not use that word too loosely, that you're one of the privileged ones. When on any given day, a Caucasian person wouldn't be able to tell the difference between you and a Mexican, a Puerto Rican, a Ecuadorian, whatever have you. We are one and the same. But you found this new proximity that makes you feel like you are not. And it's honestly just gross. It's really, really gross. And doing it for clicks and views and just being an overall moron in your stance is just weird. But once again, Cuban from Florida. Do I need to say more?
From the videos, you'll notice one Latino man saying that their community would rather choose, the white folk rather than choose the black folk. and that's where they went wrong. Even during the time of the 2024 elections in America, when black folks sat the Latinos down and explained to them why they shouldn't vote Donald Trump, they did not listen. They'd rather choose the white folk than choose the black man. The Latina proceeds to explain that the Latinas choose white people who are actually the oppressors, the people through the president, Donald Trump, are making them, get a lot of these ICE raids. They are getting mass deportations in their communities, and yet they are still choosing the black folk, to the white folk. The fact that they chose to vote for Donald Trump made black folks say enough is enough. They won't be fighting for the Latinas anymore. Black people have been fighting in America since the post-slavery. They've been fighting since the days of the 14th Amendment. Black people have been fighting against racism. Black folks have fought so much. Black folks built America. Talk about any development in America in the past, when America was being built. These were done by free labor, from black folk. And this is making black people very, very offended when it comes to the Latina versus black people. They are saying that enough is enough. They've fought enough. They do not want to support anybody in their own fight. They want Latinas to fight for anti-mass deportations for themselves. They won't be fighting because they did not listen to them during the times, when Donald Trump was campaigning. They did not choose any other candidate but stuck, and voted in large numbers for Donald Trump, who's now ensuring that there are mass deportations, who's making life unbearable right now in America, And this Latina man confesses that their families prefer white to black. There's a stereotype among the Hispanics that blacks are criminals, that they are gang members, and that they are violent, making most Latinas growing up, they fear black people. We've also seen debates on black people claiming that the Latina want to claim to be a part of their culture. Talk about hip-hop, talk about building America, talking about bondage. Black folks says that Latinas were not part of their history. They are not part of their struggle, and they do not want Latina people to resonate with them in that area. They also warn Latina people from calling them the N-word. They say they do not deserve to use it. That word can only be used by black people. Black people who went through the struggles in America. Black people who've been in the bondage, by white supremacists. And these many a times offend black people. And some Latinas say that they've grown in black communities and they are allowed and they must use that N-word. These are some of the things that are creating drifts between these two communities. Right now, the temperatures are going high and high each and every day. And these slowly will become unbearable, and people will continue to being divided between the Latinas and black communities. When you go to TikTok and just put to the search bar Latino or Latinas versus blacks, you will notice that there is a lot, of disagreement between the two communities. White people are actually the ones harming them, The Latinas are being harmed by the white people. Look at the ICE raids. Look at the community that is highly affected, the Latinas. Black folks are not immigrants in the United States of America. They are in no way fighting for what is not their fight. And Latinas are feeling offended. The white folks that the Latinas feel closer to than the black people are actually ensuring that they suffer as days goes by. They are harming them with the ICE raids and the ICE detention. They are the real oppressor. They are making, the Latinos to fight with black folks, creating division amongst the black and brown people in America. People forgetting some of these very important issues, They are perpetuating division within the black and brown communities in America. And some people are saying that it's time that the Latinas educate other Latina people and ensure that they do not perpetuate fights between the Latina community and black people. We've seen many Latinas claim that black people did not come up for protest. The few black people who went for protest, we've seen a video online of a Latina woman saying that the black man is, or rather she just used the N-word. You know, these are some of the reasons that is creating drift amongst these communities. Family, let me know in the comment section down below about the fight, you know, between the Latinas and black people and the possible solutions that you think could work out for these two communities in America. Guys, like this video so that it can be recommended to other YouTube users, and I'll be very, very grateful. Last but not least, kindly do consider subscribing to the channel. We are currently on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and guys, we can never achieve this milestone without your support. Kindly share the video widely. Thank you guys. See you. Bye bye.